Hey guys, Mysteries Reviews here. Today with my first impressions for LA Noire. Now, this is the current big title, AAA title, that has been released. I mean, pretty much who hasn't picked this game up? I mean, everyone's looking into it, everyone thought it was awesome. I mean, just the new motion capturing technology they're using in it is just friggin' amazing. That's the reason why this game got so much buzz, in my opinion. Plus, it's Rockstar Games. Well, they're the publishers, of course. Uh, I thought I'd bring these first impressions first, just talk about a few things I like about the game, just some things I can come off the top of my head with before I make a full review for it, because I have already finished the game as of now. I finished the game like 3 days ago or 4 days ago, sometime last week. I finished it technically during the first week that it was out, so I didn't get it on Friday, but I got it on Tuesday the following week because exams were on. But but I had Wednesday off, so I got it Tuesday afternoon, so I could play it all Wednesday. Because I only had exams Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Thank God. So I played it all Wednesday, and then I finished it before Friday the following week. Well, no, I finished in the 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks. Um, Given that I didn't actually get it on launch day though. So, first impressions. Well, as I said, I finished the game. LA Noire just uses, this awesome new. Oh, well, I'll start off. Yeah, published by Rockstar Games. It's actually developed and made here in Sydney, Australia, in my hometown. Yeah, boy. By Team Bondi. So every other country, especially America, I think it was IGN, Team Bondi. It's exactly how it's spelt, really. Like James Bond, so it's Bond, and then it's I, like the letter that's attached to the word Bond. It's not fucking Bondi or some random shit that just sounds totally fucking out of whack. It's Bondi. Get it right. Not that hard. And if you don't know it, just freaking look it up on the internet before you make a video and state it as Bondi. But besides that little rave, um, pretty awesome since it's the first completely made in Australian game, basically, or AAA title. I mean, the other thing is BioShock. That was also made in Boston as well, so it doesn't really count. It's half America, half Australia. Um, but yeah, the company that actually made the game was funded by the head of a Sony game developing company. So fuck yeah, it's a Sony game basically. And from memory, what I read, it was actually fully funded by Sony Computer Entertainment. So by rights, it should be exclusive on this console. But as things are, they come out on Xbox too. But whatever. I play both. Who cares? But obviously, Pledges my preferred, as everyone knows. So who cares? Get over it. As is the opinion of a lot of other people out there. Back on topic, Jesus. Yeah, it uses a new motion capturing technology, which just captures their entire face, which is just totally amazing. Like you can tell every single thing. A big factor of the game is interviewing and interrogation, where you just go down, you sit with suspects and stuff. You whip out your notebook, which we'll get back to later to go into more detail, and you go through your questions and you select a question, and you ask it, and then they respond. Then judging on their face and how they said it, you either choose if you think they're telling the truth. You can doubt them and kind of talk your way into making them feel uncomfortable and make them pretty much admit that they lied, or you can say that they lied, and then you have to bring up your evidence in your notebook and try to pin evidence on them, which is pretty cool. And I actually worked out by playing the game. You rank up in the game up to rank 20, which at rank 20 you get an achievement if you that into stuff, achievement trophy. Every time you do an interrogation or an interview or whatever in the game, every question that you get right, which is there's at least normally 2 or 3 questions every time you interrogate, interview, whatever. There's normally 2 or 3 questions. So each of those questions that you get right, sometimes 4, each of the questions that you get right, you get 5 XP. So if you only get one of them right, you're only going to get 5 XP towards your ranking, which unlocks intuition points, which can be spent on narrowing down and like getting rid of an answer, or ask the community, which is my favorite feature, where it says the highest percentage of what people have used, which is always the correct answer. And the other one is reveal like all clues at the location that you're at when you're searching for clues. Well, what was I gonna say now? Shit, I forgot. Yeah, you only get 5 XP for that. But if you get 2, 3, 4, you'll get either 10, 15, or 20 XP. Depending on the amount that you get right. But yeah, just the technology behind it is very well done. A thing I don't like about the Xbox version, which a friend has, is it's on 3-disc, which really kind of shows that it was actually made originally with the intentions of only being on the PS3, because it's only one disc here. Exactly. Xbox fanboys going off there that we don't have to bloody switch discs. It's not a problem for most people, but for me, it is. I want to play a game, 1 disc, boom, down. Besides that, there's like finding clues around crime scenes, so investigating when you find a scene. So what you do is you look around, you'll hear a chime sound, and the vibration in the control will go off, and you'll just press X, or what is it, A, I think, A on Xbox, and you pick the item up. You sort of use the left analog stick to rotate your hand around and look at the item more closely, and try and inspect the item for clues, or whatever it may be, like the brand of whatever it is, a clue to where someone is, like if it's a note or something, or what else? Maybe blood on an object if it's been used to like smash against someone's head. Who knows? The story is pretty good. You start off in as a beat cop. Just working the streets and all that. Not a hooker reference. Fuck you. But yeah, you walking around the streets, technically driving around the streets, finding, just getting crimes to attend to, like a normal cop. You're just a normal cop that you see in everyday life. Then you work your way up through the rankings. You go to homicide. No, sorry. You go to not highway patrol, but you go to what something or other, but just like street patrol, or basically things like auto theft and stuff to do around cars, whatever the bit of it's called, I can't remember. Then you move on to homicide, which is very repetitive in my opinion, especially near the beginning, since all the women are fully declothed and have the same basic insignia on them, which is fair enough because it's supposed to be the same killer over time, which you find out later on, spoiler alert. But yeah, then you go to Vice, which is pretty fun. There's only 3 freaking cases in Vice, unlike freaking like 6 or between 6 to 8 cases in Homicide, which I could have done less with, to be honest, put more in Vice. Vice is all like, drug related incidents, and smuggling, and smuggling, contraband, all that shit. It's pretty interesting, but there's only 3 cases, so it's like, that kind of sucks. Kind of makes sense though, because in that, something happens that gets you demoted. Kind of a spoiler, but I won't tell you what happens. But whatever, you'll find out across the story, and then you get demoted, and you go back down, and you go into the arson division, which is 5 missions, or 5 cases. Arson, if you don't know what the bloody hell arson stands for, is there's just fires and stuff, people lighting houses on fire, crimes with fire. That's what arson is, which is normally resulted in like houses burning down and stuff like that, but not by accident, by people actually tampering the shit, or actually physically lighting it on fire, whatever. Overall, the game story is pretty well done. There is basically a story per case in each division, But I normally, by the end of the game, I sort of realized that there's an overall arcing story which continues on throughout every case within a certain desk. So, as in the beat cop section at the beginning is a certain chapter of the story. You know, that's all one long bit of the story. Then same with homicide. Same with the car theft desk, whatever it's called. I can't remember. The homicide desk, vice desk, the arson desk. So, you know, it's pretty cool. It's an overall doing story. It's 21 cases in total in the retail game, in the game that you get. There's DLC available. It's already up, so all the stuff that you could have gotten through pre-order is already up on the internet. Well, you know, online. I'm trying to think. Was it? It's there is a thing. What is it? I was trying to think because the PlayStation Store is finally back up. Thank God. Oh, that I've just found out. And I've just downloaded some shit for Mafia 2, so we won't even get into that until I make a review of something. But I did download my DLC, and there's a pre-order DLC that you could get only in the UK, and only at a certain retailer. It was it's like a Tommy gun or something. I just got that for free. You can get it here in the Australian store for free. Not sure about American PSN or anything. You can get it for free in Australia on the PSN store. So yeah, if you want to go get that Tommy gun for free. Besides that, there's a bunch of other DLC. I did pre-order the game with about a week to go to launch because I hadn't pre-ordered it yet, and I'm all like, pre-ordered it last minute, get some free DLC with the game. So I got the Naked City case and the Badge Pursuit challenge. So besides getting the code and everything, and there, I'll hold it for you for a minute, zoom in, try and use my code. Already did, it's downloading right now. The only complaint I have about this, to be honest, is it's like 1.2 gigs, and I already had to install like 1.4 gigs on my hard drive for the initial game. And then the DLC is that big, seriously, for one fucking case? And I mean, the Badge Pursuit challenge wouldn't be that bloody big, you know, like placing 20 badges in the environment, you know, around the city, and then after you collect those, unlocking a suit, which would that whole thing should be like 10 megabytes, if that, for the Badge Pursuit challenge. And then the case is like at least a gig. Seriously, what the fuck? Like, how could it take up a gig? I mean, sure, you know, the interrogation, all that stuff is amazing. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a gig. But to be honest, it's a bit much. And, you know, with a filling up hard drive, you know, kind of running out of room, and since there's so many DLC already out, which would all end up being around a gig, I reckon. And then on top of that, they'll release future DLC, plus future games, you know. Come on, Team Bondi, you know, make the files smaller. It would help a lot. I asked closing the case. I'll bring it back up. Besides that, you know, DLC, there's already a bunch out there. So if you didn't pre-order the game, all the pre-order DLC that you've missed out on is up day one. So it was probably up day one on Xbox Live if you're looking for it there. So there you go, you know, instant. At least on PS3 now, the thing's back up. All the pre-order DLC is up there for purchase, which is good. $13. Yeah, I think it's $13 each. Better than a $23 friggin' map pack. Call of Duty Black Ops much? Not getting that anytime soon. Piece of crap. What else? Beautifully recreated 1940s Los Angeles. Amazing. To be honest, the overall graphics aren't great, but they're alright. Generic ending, seriously. Anyone who's finished it will know what I'm talking about. Fuck that shit. I hated the ending. But I guess it finishes the story, so there's not going to be any bullshit sequels or any crap like that. Thank God. And besides that, yeah, so overall my first impressions of LA Noire are, you know, pretty good. yet kind of disappointed at the same time. So, you know, say that this is the very top and that's the very bottom. That's right, touching the very bottom and the very top of the screen. I would say that's about midway, right? I'd say maybe about there, just above halfway. I was gonna go under, but nah, it's tiff. But yeah, just above halfway on my scale of how good I think it is. So yeah, it's not great, but it is fairly good for what it is. So, you know, that's all I gotta say. So until next video, guys, which I plan to upload another one pretty much after this one because I want to upload something else, which you'll just find out. Then yeah, alright, see you guys in that next video, and well, no, because I won't be in it, but see you guys in my next video, whenever that will be, most likely Sunday. Me and my pal Harry are working on an intro for Mysteries Reviews finally, which will be pretty cool. So yeah, see you guys.